Recently, Cathie Wood, the CEO of ARK Invest, predicted that Bitcoin will be valued at $1.5 million a coin by 2030. And that doesn't seem far-fetched, as Bitcoin has grown more than 106% so far in 2023. Bitcoin has had some pretty fantastic months this year, with the most recent increase starting in mid-October, resulting in an increase of over 27%. The reason behind this increase is the hype around a new Bitcoin ETF. SEC confirmed that they have received about 8 to 10 filings for a possible Bitcoin ETF. Most of these are smaller companies, but the giants of investment management like BlackRock and Fidelity also made the list of applicants. They all applied for a spot Bitcoin ETF, which is a way for ordinary investors to invest into Bitcoin from their regular brokerage accounts. So the way this spot ETF works is that firstly the ETF will buy Bitcoin, let's say of $1 million from a crypto exchange like Coinbase. They can then hold this ETF in a secure digital vault, and while doing so, they can issue shares as partial ownership of the $1 million of Bitcoin they hold. So the ETF can be priced at $10 a share, giving people access to 100,000 shares which they can buy from their old-school brokerage accounts like they buy any other stock. And we are not that far from the first Bitcoin ETF to launch in the United States. Grayscale Investments, which is the owner of the world's largest crypto fund, with a market cap of over $17 billion, was one of the first companies to apply for a Bitcoin ETF. In October of 2021, they filed an application to convert their existing Bitcoin futures ETF into a spot Bitcoin ETF. And after SEC took its sweet time to review everything, they declined the application in June of 2022. So when Grayscale didn't get a good explanation to why the application was rejected, they appealed the decision by taking their case to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, where 3 judges on August 29, 2023, unanimously concluded that the SEC's decision didn't provide any coherent explanation, meaning Grayscale won the appeal. So by law, if SEC wanted to stick to declining the ETF, they had 45 days to appeal the decision made by those 3 judges and potentially take it to the Supreme Court. When that 45-day deadline passed on October 13, 2023, and people didn't see any formal appeal of the last decision, it basically meant that either SEC is looking to approve the ETF or at bare minimum revisit the application. Either way, that is way better than a decline, and it really affected the price of Bitcoin, which jumped more than 6% over that weekend. Things got even crazier when a Bloomberg analyst tweeted that DTCC, which is responsible of clearing NASDAQ trades, had a list which had IBTC, the ticker symbol, for BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. These started the rumors that BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF was approved and was about to launch, and as a result, Bitcoin increased by nearly 10% in one day. DTCC since then has updated their list and removed the ETF, which did affect the price a little bit. But overall, in these couple of weeks, these 2 indications of a Bitcoin ETF coming to the public made the price go up by nearly 30%. And showed the massive support investors have in Bitcoin and this ETF. This ETF is a big deal, as when it launches, it will give a lot of benefits to both individual investors and bigger corporations. For individual investors, their biggest benefit would be the tax advantages, as they will now be able to invest in Bitcoin through this ETF in their 401ks, IRAs, and other tax-advantaged accounts. Other benefits are things like convenience, transparency, and lower barrier to entry, all of which should give the ordinary investors more reasons to start investing in Bitcoin. A regulated Bitcoin ETF should increase the overall trust in Bitcoin when the old-school investors see that the Bitcoin ETF is approved by SEC and they are keeping an eye on it to make sure nothing shady happens, compared to the usual nightmares we have seen in the crypto industry. But the magic happens when corporate America gets involved. See, any successful company has a corporate treasuries department. This department acts as a financial manager and decides what will happen to the company's cash so that they can avoid risk while getting some returns and have cash available for future projects. Currently, a lot of companies put their money into bonds, CDs, and term deposits, something which is very easily converted to cash. But these investments don't pay a lot, and that's where a Bitcoin ETF comes in. If the companies have easy access to an ETF, which gives them the exposure to the higher returns of Bitcoin, while being very easy to convert into cash, then potentially a lot of companies will be open to see Bitcoin as an investment, leading to a lot of money moving into Bitcoin, which will increase its price massively. Now, if only the rumors of an ETF made Bitcoin jump by 30%, imagine what will happen when the ETFs do launch and opens the door to trillions of dollars which could be invested in Bitcoin. So a Bitcoin ETF should overall increase the use of Bitcoin, which as per Cathie Wood is one of the biggest factor for Bitcoin to cross the $1 million mark. Let me know in the comments, what do you think Bitcoin's price will be in 2030? Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.